Welcome back to another video. Let's talk about Honor Among Thieves, directed and written by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Well, I gotta say, it's a light-hearted and entertaining film that'll keep you hooked from start to finish. Dungeons & Dragons. Honor Among Thieves, based on the popular tabletop role-playing game. The movie takes place in a fantasy world called the Forgotten Realms, which is where many D&D campaigns take place. The story follows a group of adventurers as they attempt to rescue a character's daughter from a bad guy who's taken over a city. The cast includes some big names like Chris Pine, Hugh Grant, and Sophia Lillis. The movie is described as a heist film with a fantasy twist, and it manages to include tons of D&D references. The movie also uses a mix of practical effects and CGI to create the fantasy world, which should appeal to fans of classic sword and sorcery movies. Honor Among Thieves is a real feast for the eyes, with stunning fantasy landscapes that'll transport you to a whole new world. You'll get to see charming treetop villages where woodland creatures make their homes and cute little towns that'll remind you of the architecture in the Shire from The Lord of the Rings. The costumes are just as impressive, with cool dragon-human hybrids and even tiger people covered in fur. And if you're into zombies, there's a graveyard scene that'll make you laugh and squirm at the same time. The zombie makeup is top-notch, and they're even asked questions by Pine's company. It's like something out of Army of Darkness. You'll also get to see some amazing digital effects that bring chubby dragons and all sorts of different fantasy races to life. Some scenes even feature floating orbs and other animated objects, although they're not quite as convincing as the rest of the effects. All in all, Honor Among Thieves is a visual extravaganza that'll leave you breathless. The film takes place in the D&D universe and features some familiar regions like Icewind Dale and the Underdark. The movie uses CGI to bring these locations to life and to showcase some amazing magical displays, but it's the practical effects that really steal the show. The filmmakers used monster suits and puppets for some of the more bestial races, which gives the movie a nostalgic feel reminiscent of 80s sword and sorcery movies. The costumes, prosthetic makeup, and actual animatronics are all ornately detailed, which adds to the immersive experience. While Honor Among Thieves is clearly made for D&D fans, it still manages to appeal to a wider audience. The CGI is used to enhance the movie, rather than detract from it, which is a refreshing change from other IPs that have tried to break into cinema. We're looking at you, World of Warcraft. Even if you don't know anything about Dungeons & Dragons, you'll still be able to follow the story and enjoy the movie. The filmmakers did a great job of making it accessible to everyone, regardless of whether you're familiar with the game or not. But even for D&D fans, there are some surprises in store. The storyline is unpredictable and full of creativity, which is something you don't always see in franchise films. And while some of the characters may feel underdeveloped, the movie's sense of humor and self-awareness make up for it. Speaking of humor, Honor Among Thieves is campy and fun, like a modern-day version of Shrek or The Princess Bride. It's a refreshing change of pace from the typical hardcore action-adventure movie, and it's not afraid to be a little silly. Let's not forget about the practical effects. The monster suits, puppets, and animatronics are all beautifully done and add to the overall charm of the movie. All in all, Honor Among Thieves is a great reminder that fantasy doesn't have to take itself too seriously. It's a fun and enjoyable ride, and the perfect escape from the real world for a little while. So grab some popcorn and settle in for a great time.